So what is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel once again. You know, I appreciate having you here. Stick around for today's video. We are out on a ride, but I guess you kind of figured that out for yourselves. Thank you very much for sticking around. Do appreciate it. Right, today we're off to Ramsgate. I know, it's not significant, is it? Just out on a ride, and I decided to go to Ramsgate, and the reason I'm going to Ramsgate is that's where my dad lived. That's where my dad and his stepwife, my stepmom, it's not his stepwife, that's not even a thing. My dad and his wife lived, my nan and my granddad lived. They all died in Ramsgate or there or thereabouts in the hospitals and various places around. So since my dad died back in 2015, and that was the last time I went down that way, I haven't kind of gone that way because it's got sad feelings, bad memories. Not bad as in it's a horrible place. That's where I went to the crematorium for every single one of them. My granddad, my nan, my stepmom and my dad. So therefore it hasn't quite got the draw it used to have when I was a kid, because I loved it as a kid. It was a great place to go, Ramsgate. As I said, my nan lived down there, and we used to spend the summer down there with my nan and granddad, and my dad used to have a great laugh on the beach. And I'll tell you what, it's August now, and I remember it being hotter back then. It wasn't like this. So that's the plan for today. We're off there. I've put the route into Kalimoto, and I've got it shouting instructions in my ears as well. So if you can hear that, I apologise. It's not the voices in my head, it's Kalimoto. Looks like a nice little route. It normally only takes me about an hour and a half, but today it's taken me 2 hours and 20 minutes because it's taking me back roads and through little villages like this. And I'm enjoying it so far. I'm probably about an hour into the ride now. I didn't want to show you roads that I already ride. It's still damp under the trees, so we can't go banzai. Not that I do anyway. I'm a quite sensible, slow-ish rider. I just like to have a little bit of fun. We're going to go and see the sea. We're going to go and hopefully put our feet on the beach. If we can, depends on the parking. I'm not paying for parking, too tight for that. We're going to enjoy some of these country lanes. Hopefully the sound of this glorious fuel exhaust comes out on the little mic in my crash helmet. I hope it does, because it sounds glorious in my ears. And it just sort of like, it makes the ride, the downshift and the way it just, that's the thing now, I'm not going to lie, it's a little bit sexual. I get a little bit of a tingling when I hear this exhaust. So thank you very much, Fuel, for sending me this. And it's not because they sent it to me, it's because genuinely I love this bloody exhaust. It sounds fantastic. Back onto the rough country lanes. A little bit of dirt on this one. Gotta be a touch careful. Tell we're in Kent by those, the host houses, and they're pretty typical of what you see in Kent. Quite nice round here, isn't it? Twyford Bridge, that's where we are. If you look over there, there's a sign saying Teapot Island. So if you ever wondered where Mr. Teapot 1 lives, obviously it's over there. Can you believe that's still a 60 through that little village? That's ridiculous. I've got a dual carriageway near me that's 60, and it's 2 lanes, obviously, dual carriageway. You're not idiots, but you get my meaning. It's like, it's bizarre. These roads are 60 miles an hour, yet some of the big open roads that could be 70, a 60, or even worse, 40. Makes no sense. Anyway, I'm here now, and it's 60. Every day you get held up by a Cadillac, is it? Especially an old one. I mean, I'm no American car expert, so maybe you guys that are can tell me what year that is. I'd say 50s, 60s, not sure. That was cool. Very nice car. Whoever you are, my friend, you've got a very nice car. This is a good route I'm going on, but there's a lot of villages, so a lot of 30 miles an hour. As soon as you get into your flow, you hit the 30 miles an hour. I mean, it's nice because you get to see around places, but I want to make progress. As I said at the beginning, it usually takes me about an hour and a half, but today it's taking me about 3. It's just started raining as well. The app said no rain all day, well, till 5 o'clock. We're 20 to 2. A little bit of precipitation for the nation in the air. God, it's taking me on some right little country lanes. This isn't even the super twisty route. This is the just standard twisty route. God, I wish it was dry. One day we're going to ride in the dry. That'd be beautiful. Parts of it are dry, so I'm only moaning for bits of this, not for all of it. Hey, I mean, seriously, imagine coming flying around that corner. Dangerous. Danger. Bloody farmers, clean up your shit. Just got this stripe to ride in. That middle bit you can see is just gravel, so very, very slippery. Oi. So you've got to be quite precise. If you get it wrong, it's going to sting a little bit. Hence I'm not going too fast. Oh, not another bloody road closure. I'm going to risk it for a biscuit anyway. You can't actually see out of here. This is a bloody dangerous turning, this one. Come on, let's nudge out. Oh, let's go back. It's like the Okie Kokie. Right, road ahead closed. Hopefully, it's just a tiny little barrier. And now it's raining. Ah, poo to you, rain. Right, road's closed. Can I get through? Right. Let's see Kalimoto do her stuff. You press this. Avoid road closure. Distance road closure up to 0.3 miles. There we go. Update that. And it's telling me to do a U-turn. So what it does is just cut this little bit out here. I know what you're thinking, you can get through there, it's only water, but if you see where the red cage is, they've piled mud up, so I'd have to go through the field. Although technically I could go through the field, I don't want to because it's not my field. If there's a little footpath, I would have taken it, or a little cut in the greenery, I definitely would have taken it, like I did earlier. But yeah, right. Anyway, this little bit of road was nice anyway. what it's doing is giving me a detour around that little road closure. Use it quite a lot lately. There's been so many road closures, and it just gives you a little bit of a route round to the other side. Oh, would you believe it? It's a typical day out for me. Rain. I carefully checked 4 different apps that said no rain. Just taking a little bit of shelter as usual. My own personal cloud turned up and it started raining. I found this jacket. I didn't find this jacket, it wasn't just laying around. I had it in there. It's kind of for walking, but I use it for off-road, so at least I got a waterproof top half. Jeans are not so waterproof, but I gotta say, what a beautiful little spot for dogging. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. It's not that I totally dislike the rain. I'm just bored with it. Absolutely bored, senseless with every time I go out it rains. I can feel it getting very slippery under the tyres. Let's see if it'll spin. I mean, it's very childish, but we'll have a go. Let's see if we can get her to spin up. No, she gripped quite well. Obviously my tyres are still very warm. Look how dark it is. It's turning my screen to night mode. At 2:30 in the afternoon on a bright summer's August day. Oh, come off it. This is ridiculous. It's August, summer. It's only what, 18 degrees, peeing down with rain. Said it was 22 today, no rain. Welcome to England, people. Welcome to England. Imagine you were on holiday. This is your holiday weather this year. For your staycations, even though it doesn't exist, because we don't go on vacation in this country. We go on holidays. So they're called stollidays. They're not called staycations. If you go on vacation, then fine. But if you go on holidays, then you can't say that. Just putting it out there. Right, I'm hoping the rain will clear up in a bit, because it looks a little bit better over there, and then we can dry out. I might have to stand up for about 5 miles just to dry my jeans. Look like a very strange man just standing up when I'm not off-road, but the reason is I'm drying my jeans. So if you're coming the other way and you see me, I'm not just weird, I'm drying myself. Lovely brick wall there, just in case you missed it. Hey, it stopped raining. Fantastic. Hopefully that's it now. Hopefully that was the rain. I don't actually mind on the way home if it rains, because I'm going home and I've got a shower, nice warm clothes, beautiful comfortable sofa to just laze on. But I'm going to dry these trousers off a little bit. So I'm standing up like a weird person. Forgive me. Just cover the brakes just in case. It's like a clothes horse, you see. She's looking at me strange. If you watch my videos, I'm standing up to try and dry my jeans. I'm not being weird, honest. Actually, I was letting you know how tall I am. There's a giant coming around on a bike. Oh God, I talk some rubbish. Oh, the sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottoms all of that tomorrow. There'll be sun. Another drain on the corner. What's wrong with them round here? It's weird, isn't it? When I first got these tyres, didn't like them, felt like they were all over the place till they bedded in, and now I I've got quite a lot of confidence in them, even in the wet. It's strange, sometimes you just got to persevere with things, just so you can adjust your style to the equipment you've got. If you're just stuck in your ways and you think, no, that's the only way I'm riding, I'm always going to ride like that, I just want this. I quite like trying new things, and I like the challenge of adapting, and I think I've adapted and I've overcome the problems with these tyres, and now I really like them. Saying that, I'll probably fall off at the next bend. And today, in these sketchy conditions of rain, sun, I use the term sun extremely loosely, rain, brighter weather and clouds, greasy roads where it goes from dry to greasy to wet, they've done a good bloody job, gotta say. Haven't once felt like I'm in trouble. You can't say fairer than that. Don't like these drains though. We shouldn't put drains on a bend. Actually, when my dad was ill, I commuted from Ramsgate 5 days a week. And I say I commuted, I went from home to Ramsgate and back to work every day, at least, I think it was at least 5 days, maybe 4 days a week, when he had cancer and I was looking after him. So it's kind of a weird sensation being up here. It's a shame I can't go and see my dad, but if there is an up there, I'm sure he'll be looking down on me, laughing because I'm getting wet in the rain. Over there's the sea, that's Pegwell Bay down there. The hovercrafts used to come from Pegwell Bay, go over to France. They're now at Dover. I say they're now at Dover, they're not even at Dover. There are no hovercrafts, but they were down there. We used to go and watch the hovercrafts come in and out. What I'm going to do when I get in and around Ramsgate, I'm going to give you loads of little bits of useless information, because that is the law when it comes up here. I used to drive my kids insane with useless bits of information, because my dad drove me insane with useless bits of information here, so I'm going to do the same. You're welcome, you are welcome. I wonder if the little tunnel's open. There's a tunnel to the right that brings you down to the sea, just beyond one of the ferry ports, or the Ramsgate ferry port. But as soon as I've got this exhaust, I kind of feel like I need a little bit of tunnel love. Let's have a look. This used to be like our secret little beach. Only us and about 300,000 people knew about it. Right, I'm going off route now. Because I remember them building this when I was a youngster. They built this ferry port, Ramsgate to wherever it goes. This was a big thing growing up. We used to jump off the harbour wall into the sea, obviously, otherwise it'd hurt, wouldn't it? Right, let's slow down. Let's have a little bit of fun. I do love the flappy paddles for no other reason apart from you can make some noise. You know the best thing about this, it's a dead end, so it means I've got to go back again. Yeah, it's not as classy as I remember it. Lifts there. Used to be lifts going up to the top where you pay 20 pence. It's just like the Caribbean, isn't it? Could be twinned with the Maldives. Obviously the tide's in at the moment, you can see that. The beach is not very nice when the tide's in. It's a little bit wet. And when it gets rough here, it's nice because we used to come up here and just watch the waves smash against here and then come over. It's really cool. Well, it is when you're a child. And to be fair, I still do it now. But it's been a long time since I've been down here. There she is, the beauty. And I'm the beast, obviously. Whoa. I nearly slipped over then. It's a little bit slippery down there. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to head up here. We're going to go up the tunnel, head all the way round to basically the other side of that little ferry port there, into the harbour, Ramsgate Harbour. Going to see what it's like around there. Then we're going to spin round, go up on the cliff top, and then back round to the other side of Ramsgate beachfront. I know what I'm talking about, even if you don't. Trust me. I'm not going to tell you it's going to be exciting, but I'm just telling you where I'm going. I can't guarantee any excitement, but I can guarantee you I'll be there. My Africatwin will be there, and you'll be there with me. What more could you want? Right, anyway, let's get out before this car comes up. A little bit more tunnel love. You never get tired of that. Up here you've got West Cliff. Oh, it's like a travel program, isn't it? Do you know why it's called West Cliff? Because it's to the west of Ramsgate. I'm assuming. I don't know. Makes sense, doesn't it? Not a lot I say makes sense, but that does. We've obviously had a little bit of rain here. My shoes are waterproof, but I've only got jeans on. So, yeah, I can feel my feet getting a little bit wet. Right, here we go. I'm going to park up here and I'm going to show you something. This is not exciting, but it's a little bit of information. You can do with it whatever you wish, but I'm going to show you something. It's quite cool for me, but probably not that cool for you. Right, so this is West Cliff Leisure Park. I know, you're stunned. You can see how glorious it is. Let me just put my gloves under here. Right, here's a little boating pond. There used to be boats in there. I'm not sure if there still is, but we used to spend all summer in here on little boats, going round and round and round for hours. We used to love it. But that's not the coolest bit. The coolest bit is this, and it's still there. It's not really that cool, but I'm going to tell you. See this little track here? It's just an oval kind of thing. This is where I first learnt to ride a motorcycle. I think I was about 6, and they had little two-stroke 50cc's, maybe 75cc's. And we'd ride round the track here, and this is actually when I first got on a motorcycle, was right here. Told you it wasn't that cool, but I was just letting you know. It's here I learnt to ride at 6 years old. But as you can see, health and safety has shut all that down. 6-year-olds on 50cc two-strokes riding round. You can imagine the mayhem. But anyway, that's where I started riding. And this is West Cliff Leisure Boating Pool kind of thing. Right, let's crack on to the other side of Ramsgate, or actually into Ramsgate. We haven't actually got there yet, have we? Right, I'm just coming along the cliff top now from West Cliff. There's an old Victorian court here, like a courtyard sort of thing. Got some tennis courts in the middle. These lovely old Victorian buildings here. On the right here, this used to be a car, what do you call it, museum. A car museum down there that we used to go to as well. That was pretty cool. Classic cars and stuff like that. And now what we're doing is we're coming down into the harbour now. So we've got some nice Victorian properties up here overlooking the harbour. Because the Victorians love coming down this way. When it's blazing sunshine, I really do love Ramsgate. Because it's got so many memories and really, really good ones as well. It's a shame I can't ride along the harbour to the end. You can walk it, you can walk right to the end, and there's a little cafe at the end. You used to be able to drive straight down the seafront and then up the other side, but you can't do that now. They've kind of blocked it off in the middle, so we've got to do it in 2 halves. Oh, it's all blocked off. That's a shame. Because up ahead of us it's now, looks like a Wetherspoons, but there used to be a place called Stardust, which was a casino. But instead we got some rock and roll dancing. Again, you've got these Victorian terraced houses here, and you've got the old bandstand in the middle. This was a proper bustling Victorian seaside town. Fortunately, these places get a little bit run down lately. Hopefully, now everyone's staying at home, maybe this will be the plus side of COVID. Where these houses are on the right hand side, these apartments, there was nothing there, but below that was a car park. That's not the interesting bit, and nor's the next bit. I'm just going to tell you anyway. There used to be a nightclub down there called Nero 2000s, and then opposite, in this car park here, straight ahead of us, that used to be a Lido. So we used to go swimming there, open air swimming pool with diving boards and everything used to be there. And this here, this used to be a nightclub. This car park here, believe it or not, was a nightclub. This is the main beach. It's a lovely sandy beach, I've got to say. It's one of the best beaches because of the sand. And when you get a blazing hot day, it's wonderful down here. This used to be called the Marina Cafe. And that's where I used to go and get my egg and chips nearly every day for about 500 years. And this here used to be an amusement park, all of this. There used to be helter-skelters, bumper cars, amusements. And now, finally, it lay derelict for years and years and years. But finally, they're bloody getting on with it and building what looks like some nice little apartments. And under here, you've got old wall caves and tunnels down there. There you go, Ramsgate tunnels. It's like a history program, isn't it? And again, here you used to have all amusements here as well, and another motorcycle thing. I used to ride here as well, round on little motorcycles. Yeah, I'm talking to myself, don't look at me like that. And if you're here, the waves hit here so hard, they sometimes go into that first balcony. So yeah, you wouldn't want to always live here, would you? But I'd love to have the top floor, the penthouse apartment of that. Just watch the waves crash over, knowing that it's never going through your window. I mean, if it goes through your window up there, you're properly in trouble. See if you can get a view down there. I'll tell you what, on a beautifully sunny day, when the water looks nice and blue, it's wonderful. Unfortunately, this is England, and this is supposed to be one of those beautiful sunny days. But as you can see, it's not. Right here, this is the Granville Hotel. This used to be the Bee's Knees. This was the big dog hotel in Ramsgate, this place here. And opposite there, you've got the Granville Theatre, which is a cinema. So that's the local cinema. Right, so we're going to head on up to where my nan spent her last few years in this home here. She had the sea view. She had one of the apartments that had a sea view out of there. My God, it's awful. Never looked like that when my nan was in there. It was a lovely place. God dear, come on. I remember when my dad moved here from London. He moved from Wandsworth to here, so South London to here. And he used to say 4 cars down here was a traffic jam. That's where my dad lived, my dad and his wife, till the day he died. Still got the same thing in the porch that he hung up, the little love heart, kind of a candle thing. And the same blinds as well. They just haven't changed much. Let's get on to my nan's house. I had some great memories at my nan's. My granddad, he was a character, proper character. He used to make me laugh. He used to pour his hot tea into the saucer because it was too hot. That way he could cool it down a little bit quicker, and he'd sip it. And my nan would go ballistic. It was so funny to watch. Because I'm a drummer, I used to tap all the time. I used to tap the arms of the sofa and just tap my knees. She'd turn around to me and say, "If you carry on tapping, I will break your fingers." Oh dear, I miss my nan. She was brilliant. My nan was proper. My nan and granddad were proper old school. I mean, my granddad used to fix the gutters on the house where we're going now by tying his legs to the chimney breast. He'd tie a rope round the chimney breast, then round his ankles, and hang upside down to fix the gutter in. He's a lunatic. There was no health and safety back then. There we go, look, Elephant and Castle. Which was weird. My nan always liked this because my nan was actually born in the Elephant and Castle. So she was from the Elephant and Castle, moved here, and then we discovered that pub, the Elephant and Castle. Right, literally the battery ran out just as I was coming up here, so I don't know how much information you got, so I wasn't sure when it ran out, but we used to play here as kids. This is called the Wreck, and it was a wreck. I think it's an old bomb site, so he just turned it into this green. You used to have none of this fancy stuff. It was just one crazy roundabout thing that everyone used to go on, and it goes so fast that if you didn't hold on, you just come flying off. It was fantastic. Only a few broken limbs down here, none of them mine, thankfully. Right, this is where I had some great childhood memories down this road here. My nan's friend Rose used to live there, and it was here. Oh my god, it's still got the exact same plaque on the wall, number 14. My nan and granddad lived here, and this is where we came every summer for 2 weeks. I can't believe the plaque's still not. It hasn't been painted. That was the colour my granddad painted it. Fantastic. There you go. We weren't a fancy family. But yeah, I remember playing up and down this street, learning to roller skate. And there was a love of bikes because our next door neighbour there had a bike. He had like a kind of chopper Harley kind of thing, and I was always fascinated by it. And then down here, this one on the corner was the local shop, and Silver Spring was the name of the local company that made, let's say, fizzy pop round here. And they had a drink that was called Bing. That's right, you heard me, Bing. And I used to absolutely love it. Every time I came down here, it was either Silver Spring cream soda or Bing. Well, there you go. Anyway, right, that's the memory lane done. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for coming along on this little kind of memory trip. I really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it. Stick a comment down in the comment section if you so desire. But most of all, don't forget to subscribe, to like, to share, do all those things that you need to do. Also, hit that notification bell so you guys can get the drop on these videos. I shall see you on the next one. You know I love you all. Stay safe. Fish out.
Get all your bags, get out my house. I don't want your stuff around. I never did you wrong, but you did me wrong. So go ahead, get gone. Get all your bags, get out my house. I don't want your stuff around. I never did you wrong, but you did me wrong. So go ahead and get gone.